We might want to check this out.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Warsat Radio Episode 2. We are back again, our second show. Thanks for having us in your ears. I'm Cobra, your host, and joined with me is my co-host, Eclipse.
Hey, how's it going?
Also known as Mark. I'm Chris, he's Mark. Let's talk about some Destiny. Great news. The House of Wolves is finally here. We played it last night and had a freaking ball. At least I did.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, we had a great time.
I loved it. It's great.
Everyone is so sad about not having a raid, and we were pissy about that. But once we got into the heart of this, it definitely kept my attention. And we had, how long did we play last night? A couple hours? 4 hours?
Man, we played 4 hours-ish. No, maybe 5. I think I got off at midnight, and we started right about 7 o'clock.
Okay. Now, that to some of you guys who played all night long, that's probably nothing, but with our work schedules and everything, we had to wait till 5 o'clock. We couldn't get on at 1 o'clock Eastern. But, yeah, we had a great time doing that. So, when we hit the reef, new change of scenery, that was incredible, seeing all these new things to talk to, how many green little emblems were on your screen, and go checking all those out. The new balls in the reef that explode when they hit the ground. And
it's awesome.
And they light up when you touch them. It was just really cool being there. Figuring out these new missions and the new bounties they added in was fun to do. The past week we've been doing the wanted bounties.
Queen's Wrath.
What have you thought about those Queen's Wrath bounties? I've enjoyed doing
I
those.
love them, man. They have brought life back to patrols. They make me want to go do patrols anymore. And, I mean, I know you've gotten that way is we've kind of stopped picking up the patrol bounties just because they're a little tedious to do, and we got a little burnt out on them. But with these new Queen's Wrath bounties of hunting the House of Wolves fallen, or the fallen wolves targets, it's made us go back into patrol and made a reason to go back with the chests that spawn, and then also the running of the chest, trying to get multiple hits on that chest, and the sparrow races, you would say.
I'm glad you brought that chest up. That has been fun. I didn't understand how that worked, and you introduced it to me because you showed me first, right? Yeah,
I showed you first, but I had to learn about it online. I think the very first 1 or 2 we did, I had no clue what the hell an ether key was.
Right.
And I was like, what is this? And then finally we're like, oh, hey, there's a chest that spawns over here. And then I started looking, because we were thinking that, oh, well, sometimes the chest doesn't spawn, but it's just a different location. And then once we figured that out, and I saw the tip of, hey, you can grab this chest more than once if you leave that area and come back to it. So then that's when the race was on.
Yeah. And
the trying to grab it, you can grab most of them at least twice, as long as you can get to the chest at the very beginning. But the some of them, if they spawn in the right spot, and getting them 3 and 4 times, maybe 5, I don't know. Some of them, 5 would be very difficult to get on some of them, but it made so much fun on, I guess it dropped Friday night.
It's like a meta game in a game, the small part of the game. Now, I didn't understand the go back and get it again, keep hitting it until your time is up, and you got to get out of area and wait till the scene changes. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I was only getting it twice. And, of course, every time I would start to do it, I'm rushing, and my sparrow would not stay on the ground. It was flipping and tumbling. I'd hit every jump at a really sharp spike, and I would fall, and it would just stay sideways. It's like, please quit. Time's counting down.
I have noticed my sparrow skills have gotten a lot better in the past weekend.
I'm driving drunk. That's all I can say. I've got to calm down and quit boosting. I'm using the one from the vault, like probably most people are for the speed. I can't drive, but I'm hitting every little rock. I'm trying to. That's just no driving skills when it comes to that chest. This
has made me think about trying to look next time Zer's in and see what the upgrade actually does to the Sparrow, and see if I can get any more speed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it adds more speed or not, but I'm gonna look into that.
That's one thing we've both not really wanted to spend the coins on, but we do want those upgrades for the rare Sparrows.
Yeah, in our abundance of coins now, I'm not too worried about spending them. We're both in that same boat.
Exactly. Now the box thing, hot topic on that. We're racing back and forth to hit it more than once. It would seem if you have a key, you can only open it one time, but we're hitting it multiple times, as you just said. Do you think we are exploiting, or do you think that's the way Bungie made it to be?
I think it is not how it was intended to be, but I don't think they're going to patch it out. I think they're going to leave it in because they see how much fun we're having with doing these races to get this box multiple times. And I think there's some places they put those chests that they can randomly spawn that it's almost impossible to get to twice.
Right.
I've heard of one spawning on top of the railway in Archer's Line, and that, to me, that's mean to put it up there.
We used to hunt regular chests up there, and that was like, oh, how do you jump over here? Yeah.
Yeah. I know there's places to get up there, and some classes can get up there a lot easier than others, but that's kind of mean to put it up there. But to be able to get that one twice, or I don't think you'd be able to get it more than twice, but the hard part of that one, I think, would be finding it initially, because that's probably going to be the last place you look.
I've never been a person to say, here's where the chest is. I'm like, someone tell me, because I have no idea where this thing's at. The reason I brought that up about are we exploiting or not, I saw a post, I forgot where, I don't have any credible sources, but someone had said, since Bungie listens to what we want, they know how much we wish we had loot caves back, because we used to really whore those things out. But They said this would be a slight answer. Well, if you want some Ingrams, here's your time.
I agree for that. That's
pretty cool.
That's a pretty accurate statement of this is a loot cave. This is Bungie's way of giving us a loot cave again, because I know I've got a ton of special ammo scents right now that I can't get rid of. That I've been popping special ammo scents during missions just to use them. So I don't have to carry around as many as I got. And I've also read the tips online of, fill up your consumable slots so you don't pick up special ammo scents anymore.
Good point. I've definitely.
But then whenever we actually started running the story missions, I started moving everything back out so I could pick up the consumable, the house banners and stuff that drop, because you're not able to pick those up whenever, or if you don't have one in there already.
Me, with a collection of all kinds of things I'm trying to level up, I'm a big one on the let's get this purple leveled up and break it down for more material, from that little tip that you taught me about. I've got too many purples I'm holding on to, and my exotics,
need to get rid of them.
And I'm now collecting these Ingrams out of the. Well, it's hard to part with that when I can get extra materials out of it, and I know what am I going to use it for, but I can get more. That's OCD.
Okay, well now in this House of Wolves day and age, what do you need 5 more Ascendant energy for, or 3 more weapon parts for?
I plead the 5th. Nothing.
I mean, they're not even used in new upgrade trees now. They're completely gone. That whole, I mean, the only thing they're good for is Glimmer now. You can trade them in for Glimmer and Motes of Light, but hell, anytime you break down a new gun now, a post House of Wolves gun, it gives you a Mote of Light.
I haven't done that yet.
It does not give you. It doesn't give you any kind of energy because there is no such thing in that gun anymore. It gives you a mote, and it gives you, either weapon parts or whatever your class item is, either plating or wire or essence.
So let's just say this. Let's say RNGesus says, here you go, I bestow upon you a Fatebringer, which has not done so yet. I will not need any energy for that, which I'm so used to thinking and from the Vault of Glass.
No, you will need energy for that.
So, well, there you go. That's why I'm collecting it.
Well, how many do you have?
Probably, I don't know. I've got a good amount. I haven't spent a lot, but...
Okay. You were running around with a unleveled up bad juju last night during these missions.
I was pissing you guys off because I was using it during the arc burn. And I'm just trying to get the experience out of it.
Yes, I forgot you were even using it during Prison of Elders. Yes, I do remember that.
I don't have these leveled up guns, but I've spent time putting in stuff I break down. Bad mistake on my part, but it happened. So now I've got all these things I'm racing to collect, or not collect, racing to level up, and I can dump probably a lot of junk. I got so many vault weapons that I only need probably 2 of. I have 3 characters. I'd like to kind of give everyone one. Probably not going to happen that way, but all these Ingrams we got out of these boxes to bring this back. I've got so much crap, and I've less room to keep these things I'm getting out of these treasure boxes. I've got problems.
Yes, they answered it once before by increasing our vault space, but we need more.
I thought the same thing.
There's a lot of stuff to get with the House of Wolves and the Trials and the all the new gear that's come out that looks so freaking awesome. My Dead Orbit Titan gear looks amazing.
It does,
and it's going to be something I want to keep. But I mean, if I run out of vault space, then I'm gonna have to start sorting out what I want and what I don't.
And the answer to that in the RPG world, I always talk about RPG because that's Destiny's a hybrid, is to create player housing, and you can display your stuff. In most games like that, You'll have a house, pretty much just your storage box, but you decorate it. Destiny houses. I hope not, but I'm just saying. Now, when we started...
Let us decorate the inside of our spaceships.
Hey, now that's a good point. We've got all that space. Let me store my junk in the trunk.
Yeah, that's a big-ass spaceship for one little person. I did actually get, speaking of Dead Orbit gear, I got boots again. I got boots for my Titan, so all I'm missing is a helmet for my Titan, and I will have a full set of Dead Orbit House of Wolves gear.
That's awesome. You've done well getting yourself leveled up.
That I got lucky on those. That was lucky drops.
Where'd you get it from?
Just a faction package. When I ranked up my Warlock Dead Orbit, when I rolled it over, it dropped. Still not the shader. I still can't find the damn shader, though.
Now, a couple months ago, we were talking, before this came out, save your faction packages to use on the new gear you have to level up fast. I have a collection of probably 9 or 10 in there now.
Yeah.
How many do you have in your bank, or have you spent those?
No, they're all gone. They're done. The accommodations pushed me up over, I think, two full ranks on Dead Orbit, and I was right at edged. I had it edged already, so it was... I think I hit 3 ranks on one character yesterday.
Now, that's right. The commendations are no longer used to get into the ranks that we need.
Thank God.
Yeah, so now you just, if you don't know this, you just go use them, and you will rank up your faction of whatever mark or cloak or warlock band you're using, and you're just leveled up. How many points does it give? It gives a lot. You can't...
It's 2,500. No, not 2,500. Sorry, 250.
250. Yeah, it's a good.
And I don't know if the Nightfall. I can't remember if the Nightfall took into place. I think it did. I think it was actually 312 per accommodation. Actually using one accommodation at a time.
Mm-hmm. So get those out of your bank, clear up your space, turn them in, rank up what you want. I'm chasing the Dead Orbit shaders, trying to get that black one, and really just whatever they've got. So get those out of your bank. You're going to need the space. You get so much stuff starting the game as well, or whenever you load into the reef for the first time. So of the reef, we did the story missions, and your impression of this story compared to...
This story is awesome.
It really is.
It is so awesome. Just the way the story moved compared to vanilla Destiny, and especially compared to Dark Below. Now I'm gonna be curious of how if they're gonna force this down our throats like they did the Dark Below daily missions.
The over and over.
Because I couldn't tell you how many times I've ran the Awakening, and it got to that to where I just hated that mission, and I would not run it. And then I stopped running dailies altogether just because it was kind of pointless at the time. At least for me, I felt like it was pointless. But these story missions were so fun, and even running them, I ran them today on my other character, or one of my other characters, and they weren't old or tedious, or they were fun and exciting to do, even a second time. Now last night we went through on 32 on hard on every one of them, which made them a little difficult. They were pretty difficult last night.
I had a good run. I didn't die for a long time.
Yeah, you did. And there was and I was running around with a shotgun, so I was trying to be up in everybody's face, and I was dying a lot. Today we didn't need the extra moda light for every story mission we ran. So we just kind of ran them on normal and just kind of relaxed and played the story and had a blast.
That's cool. So did you play with Devin, the disgruntled Destiny player, today?
I played with Devin, the Happy Destiny player today. He's loving House of Wolves.
So House of Wolves can turn a frowny-faced, I don't like Destiny player upside down. That's what I'm hearing.
It has with him.
Wow, that's good to hear.
Last night especially during Prison of Elders, because it was so challenging to do, and the teamwork that had to come out of it. And then at the end of it, it was come out of his mouth of, I like this.
That's awesome.
I really like this.
I'm honestly happy to hear that. So Bungie, thank you. We hats off you. It was good to see our fire team of 3 back enjoying it and not like, why don't y'all go get another game? And I had definitely a fun time with these missions too. My one complaint to start, but I've thought about this all day, was I don't like running the same missions backwards because I feel like that's a cheap way to get new material out of your level. But it is kind of fun to see it backwards because you're so used to the same particular direction. So it bothered me, but I was like, you know what? It's fun, and there's new things there, and we're doing something different, and I'm not really thinking about it. It's in the back of my mind. So I did enjoy doing all that, and we got to explore new sections of the maps that we have been curious about. Say, like, I forgot which mission this is on. I think whenever you go to, when you go back to Earth, when you take the right on the way up
King's
to...
Watch.
Is it King's Watch?
King's
Ruling
Watch. Yeah,
Mission 5, the
Kings.
Ruling House. The Ruling House is what I'm thinking of. Okay. And you make a right and you go to these little doorways that have been closed off for, I don't know how, since the game came out. It's to the left of going to the Septicus Prime mission. Fun to go in there, a new part. That was kind of fun. I think I enjoyed Fallen out of all the races on the game. There's just something about them that are more interesting.
The captains get a little annoying, especially when they teleport around, but
and you waste a rocket on
I like
that.
the Fallen. I'm liking where they're going with it. There's been some interesting things discovered in Grimoire that I've been reading about how it's speculated that the Traveler actually visited the Fallen before us, and how they were, that they're not minions of the darkness like the Hive are. But it's kind of interesting. I'm not trying to go in the lore of it because I just don't read into that much of it, but I still think it's interesting to read about. I don't study it, I just read it, kind of thing.
Well, they dropped a book on us last night. All the Grimoire cards
they did. We were getting Grimoire cards left and right. And especially all the dead ghosts that we've started finding now that they were... Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I'll spend time to read this one day, but it's already packed. Like, I've got to read the normal ones are already there, so I've got my homework cut out for me.
Yes.
So we did the story missions, and we had a good time doing that, and we all had a good time together. And I'm, like I said, glad to see our frowny faced but lovely Devin, the disgruntled Destiny player, happy again. After we got through that, we did the strike. And this strike really laid the smackdown on us once we got to the Nightfall. Regular strike, not so bad. But when we got to the Nightfall, with the Arc turned on...
Yes, Arc and Brawler were the two modifiers.
It was tough, really. I get... Like Mark mentioned earlier, playing up, using your shotgun, wanting to punch everything. You just can't do that. But I'm that type of player, and that tends to get me in a lot of trouble. Luckily, I'm a warlock and I can self-res. But we learned after several attempts, let's stay back. Let's take our time, as we should be in the first place. But
yeah, wiping at the end was I think our big eye opener. Whenever we were almost had killed. What's his name?
Isn't it Skolas?
No, it's not Skolas. It's starts with a T. I can't remember. Tankus. That's it.
That's right.
Almost had him dead, and then pop! Here comes some Shanks with some fire shields, and we're all arced up, and oh shit! Now we just wiped. We got to start over.
Yeah. Now when we got to probably how many times did we do that? 3 times maybe.
I think we did it 3. I think we got it on our third.
On our third.
I know one time we wiped. I think once or twice we wiped at the. Or no, we wiped at the Walker, and then we wiped at the very end.
Oh yeah.
And then the third time we got our strategy down, and changed up some weapons at the very end to help take out those shanks, kind of thing.
We certainly learned strategy, and when you put strategy to use in any of these parts of the game, it does turn out well. Backing up to the tank, fallen tank inside this closed room with an arc cannon on top and his gigantic tank cannon, plus everything shooting arc at you in a small space equals trouble.
The big gun was easy to avoid, but when he shot off the arc, whatever he shoots off, whatever that little gun on the side of his head is, you couldn't avoid it. If he was shooting it at you, you could not get away fast enough because of the blast radius inside that small enough room.
We went down left and right.
Yes, that was where the keeper of the pack exotic come in handy that I was running.
Absolutely. The thing I kept trying to do is like, well, you know what? From the Sepka strike, you can shoot that cannon off the side of him. I was trying to do that through the little tunnel you come up to, but there are so many snipers and so many vandals just shooting their little tracking. I forget what they call their guns. You can't stand out there for any amount of time to get any damage on it. And I never knew if you can blow it off or not because we ended up killing the thing. But my goal is to take that thing off. I don't know if I communicated that with you guys, but I was like, I'm going to take it off so we only have one to worry about. But I don't know if you can take that gun off.
I hope you can, but being able to sit out there and actually get enough shots on it to take it off is going to be the interesting part to get done, especially on the arc burn, just because those vandals that have the tracking bullets, they shoot out enough bullets to take you down. And I mean, if you can't get around a corner, then you're down, and hopefully you're not in a bad place to be revived.
It is a storm of incoming fire. Now, we come across a tank in, of course, the public events, the Sepka strike, and I feel like that we come across a tank somewhere else.
In the very first mission of House of Wolves.
I can't remember where that is. I'm wondering if it's the same thing here. So I don't know where it's at.
You're what?
But before that, before the House of Wolves dropped, I don't know. I'm going to keep continuing to do that and try not to die. I want to see if this thing can be taken off, but I'm assuming not. So,
and then the going on through that strike, where he kept spawning in the hallway. If you're running together, you better stay back. Somebody better stay back, because we were talking about it today, and I think we hit on it last night. Is if this strike goes solar burn or a triple burn. That is going to be insane with him and his Scorch Cannon shooting at you.
All the time.
Yes, all the time, because they never run out of bullets and they never have to reload. That is going to be an insanely hard strike with triple burn period will be crazy hard on that strike.
I enjoyed the hallway being full of the vandals or the dregs, and him just being around the corner and you run right up to him. That's a pretty cool thrill to come up to, kind of scary movie jump. I know I saw Devin die a couple times just running through. Maybe our second or third time we did it. But you chase him through kind of like Omnigul. He travels on. So I like how they do their strikes, or at least I like how the Omnigul strike works, and this one where you start off shooting at him, he retreats, and you continue to whittle him down until you're at the final fight. That's a cool way to progress the story of this strike. You're not just running to a boss and killing it, and it's over. I enjoy that.
The only thing I don't like about Omnigul is it seems like you're hiding the entire time. And they really got rid of that on this strike because there is nowhere to hide.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, there's parts of a room you're going to sit at, but, Nightfall and Omnigul, you're sitting right at the top of the stairs, running back down the stairs whenever you have to, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're sitting inside the room, shooting all the fallen outside. And then, however you play Omnigul, either to the, in the first room, or you go over in that little room off to the left, you're popping out and taking your shots. But this new strike, they kind of eliminated that. There's a couple entrance points that you can stay at, but for the most part is you're kind of out there and about. And I don't know if there's any real cheese spots in this strike.
I'm waiting to hear. You definitely cannot fall back far like you're used to being able to do. What we learned when we did this, when we first came up to the last room to fight Tankus, I rushed out because I saw him hanging out in that back platform a little bit, just giving him a couple Gallahorn shots, see what was going to happen. And, of course, the add-ons happen. and we kept getting separated, and we kept getting shanked a lot, and we kept getting sniped. There's all that stuff. So we learned, instead of throwing yourself out there, come back. And the second time,
hold off that little starting area to where you can actually defend yourselves.
Right, we pulled back with the second time. Okay, then we're like, guys, this hallway only has 2 entry points. There's 3 of us. They're going to come left or right. We have cover in the front. We'll just call out, here comes some left, here comes some right. And that fight takes place mainly with some add-ons going to the right-hand side. And you can easily drop down, tank us. He appears enough. He doesn't hide behind stuff, and you can get him down. So definitely we took our point. We held it off. And what's interesting, because the trial's coming up, we're going to have to learn teamwork, and we started to communicate better. We started to develop a better
we were
strategy.
Communicating really good last night. We were communicating good enough to piss my wife off and make her go upstairs, but she got tired of hearing me talk. So yeah, it's I guess she says I talk too loud, but I feel like I'm talking in a normal voice. But anyways, I felt like we were communicating better by the end of the night, especially when we got into level 32 Prison of Elders. The 28, not so much. We kind of did our own thing, which was no big deal. We were, we're 4 levels above what we're fighting, and it's, it was challenging, but it wasn't very tough. Parts of it got a little challenging, but a lot of that was just learning the mechanics of what was going on in there, and then running the 32. Once we got that teamwork and sticking together down on the 32, it ran smooth for the most part.
It did. Back up a little bit. What drops did you go off the Nightfall?
I got coins. And
coins
then today,
off the first Nightfall.
I got 10 strange coins off the first Nightfall. Woohoo! Just what I needed. Today, when I ran it, I got a Theoclite, and I upped my Fatebringer. I'm not worried about doing my damn armor. 33.5 is no big deal to me, and I'm not going to hold on to that till next week to see what piece of armor drops from Prison of Elders next week to be a 34 with an exotic. I'm not worried about that. I don't want to rush to 34. It's not a big deal to me. But the 365 Fatebringer is awesome.
What does it feel like? I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was done.
The 365 is a fun thing to do when you have a shard left over for your exotics. It's simple. I like how they made it simple. We don't have to do it again. Level everything up again. So, Bungie, you've made your strides. You've done well on that. We do thank you for that.
So much less grind now.
It is. Now, going back to the Nightfall drops, I got the Purifier robes. I was excited about that. That's the one I wanted from the first start of looking at what's going to be happening for our new exotics. And I got it first thing, so I was happy. I felt bad anybody who didn't get an exotic the first time through. Devin got the jumping boots for his hunter.
He got the jumping boots. And he loves them. They actually have been confirmed to add a quad jump on Gunslinger. So you've got 4 jumps on Gunslinger. They actually stack onto triple jump. So he loves those things, and they are damn. He can makes a hunter jump high as hell. I mean it's Titan height is what he was jumping. So
that's good. Now I was happy to get those Purifier robes. I wish the design didn't have the high collar because I've had that since I've done Crota.
It's like they're kind of frat boy collar.
Frat boy collar. Warlocks only ride with pop collars. So I've got the new Purifier robe. Can't wait to get that leveled up and then go into the trials with it and disorient whenever I come back. So moving on from the Nightfall, we then moved into Prison of Elders, as you kind of jumped on and started us on. The prison was fun to finally get into because we started, I would say, bringing our teamwork together in the Nightfall. And then we certainly had to develop some teamwork in the prison. As you said, the 28th, when we first started the 28th, do you remember he saying kind of like, this isn't challenging, it's not enough? And you reminded me that this is only 28. We got more levels
we're only at a 28. We didn't get any challenging multipliers with 28, or not multipliers, but modifiers with 28 either. There was nothing special. I think we got one of the grenade ones and small arms, but we didn't hit any arc burn or anything like that actually made it to where we took excessive amounts of damage from enemy fire on the level 28. It wasn't it wasn't that challenge as a 28. 32 is when it started getting, towards the end of 32 is when it started getting tough.
It certainly
and
did.
we wiped
Light
a couple
Switch
times.
was the only thing I complained about. We had pretty good buffs. Like we had Brawler and we had...
Yeah. And they're the same buffs for everybody. That's or at least on the level 32, when the 28's all randomized, but the 32 is all the same buffs for everybody. Yeah. But yeah, the Light Switch one was tough the first time through. When we ran it today, it was smooth and we didn't have any problems. I don't know if it's just knowing a little more about it, or maybe we played it a little different. My blinding bubble came into play on that Light Switch level.
Mm-hmm. How did you feel about the mines and destroying the mines and taking the points over? How did you like that being thrown into the Prison of Elders?
It makes it to where you can't sit around. That's when you have to go get those mines. I mean, there were points where we were in the Fallen area and we're just like sitting here trying to focus on killing everything and not paying attention to, oh shit, we got to get this mine.
That happened.
And then we're wiping. We've waited too long. That happened a couple of times to us, and then we started. Once you get in that mindset of when that objective pops up, you've got to get to that. That's your main priority, because you don't have much time to get those done.
Definitely,
and especially when they spawn them clear across the map. Those are the mean ones. When they spawn them about at the same time, clear across the map, they make it kind of hard to get to.
You remember that one part when we got into that Fallen map? It was kind of like the Moth Yards with the plains. They had two, B and C were totally clear across the map from each other. We had to challenge ourselves to keep someone near C while we went to B, and we kind of covered one another. That was something we can't make it, but we just got to be on point. You got to be moving before the thing pops up, so you're not on your feet, or on your heels. But once you get figured out, it's doable,
and the more we play it, the more we're going to learn. The more we play it, the more we're going to learn where they're going to pop up, and we're going to be able to anticipate them a lot more than going in blind like we did last night. Essentially, I mean, we kind of, I watched the reveal, so we kind of knew what was going on. But once you get in there and experience it, it's a little different.
It is
than just knowing what's going on.
Once we finish the 28th level, what did we get out of the treasure chest? Well, let's talk about the room. That room was really cool.
I don't want to talk what you got. I don't want to talk about what you got out of the treasure chest.
I hate to say it, but I forgot what I got out of the treasure chest.
I don't want to say it.
Well, let's back up. Let's go down there. Let's travel down there. So you
travel
down.
The I thought something was going to pop up in the doors on the way down.
You were saying not in this one, not this one. Each little platform has a different room.
Yes.
And it makes sense. The next time down, I checked them just in case, because you can't get back up, or I never tried.
Yeah.
So you go down, check these platforms if you wish. Maybe something will be there, but probably not. And we get down to the bottom, and here is a room full of golden cubes and skulls. It's really pretty, honestly. That's really nice art.
Yes, it is.
It is nice art.
Very nice down there. It is a beautiful room. All the gold. I love gold.
I wonder if there's a ghost in there. We searched underneath the little bridge down there, but maybe not. So as you approach this golden room, you fall to the bottom. It's beautiful once you get down there. You look down the hallway and you see 3 chests. You have a big chest, 2 on the sides. Now, You're given a key once you first start the house.
Yeah, you get a key from the story missions. Running through the story missions, you get a key.
Mm-hmm. And these are the same keys people are farming out of the boxes from the wanted missions.
Yes.
So you travel down there and you unlock whatever you get. This is your reward. And I opened mine and I got a 3rd Galahorn.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I felt bad. When I saw it, I was like, I hope that's beside Eclipse's name, because he doesn't have one yet.
No,
this is the ongoing struggle.
It wasn't. I got a Plan C. I got like my 6th or 7th Plan C. I'm about tired of getting that gun. And then today I got a Red Death out of the treasure chest.
Did you have that?
Yes. The only thing I'm missing is Galahorn and Universal Remote, and the new ones, the brand new ones that just dropped Tuesday.
So you got nothing brand new exotic your first run?
Absolutely not. Nothing. First 2 runs I didn't get anything brand new.
Okay. Oh, sorry, guys. Had some technical difficulties. Had to edit this back. So, May 28th is the day I've came up with where Eclipse here gets his Gallahorn, and he'll be only missing one more exotic weapon. But May 28th is what I'm saying. Right. So, 8 days from now. 8 days from now. I want you to have it. I can't wait. Days. I get happy about this game.
I want to have it so I can start just unloading freaking Gallahorn rockets on everybody.
It's going to make it easier for everybody in the game you're with. Just easy with the calm down. Don't blow your heavy synth on everything. So we finished 28 in the prison, and we jumped into 32, and we definitely came across a bigger challenge into that. You definitely can't run your separate way and survive as well.
Yes.
Now, we started out with a Cabal?
Yes, we started with Cabal, went to Hive, to Fallen, back to Hive, and ended on Cabal.
Okay. Now, the Cabal, not too bad. We stopped running out into the map. We stayed by the doorway because there tend to be cover left and right. So we used kind of the same strategy we used on the Nightfall for that strike too. So we tend to stay better. We got better. I was having a better time too whenever we were communicating and we didn't
staying together. Yeah, you were getting a little irritated when we kept when we kind of started it. I think we kind of ran off and ran our own ways and tried to split up a little bit. Mm-hmm. And I think you were getting a little, I don't know if you might have just been getting bad spawns and have everybody spawn at you.
Well, the problem, though, when we split up was, you're where? Where are you? I don't see you. Yeah. I'm over here. Where's over here? I spin around, I'm getting shot. It's just like, I can't control this, and I can't find where here is. I don't know your next move. I don't know, are you trying to keep a point? Are you trying to just
and it's hard for us to call out names in a room we've never been in and know what we're talking about.
And your orientation of the room.
Yes.
Versus mine. So, yeah, I was just getting irritated because it's like, I don't know where that is. And you're like, over here. So, we got it down. And we stayed by the door the whole way through on 32. And that helped a whole lot because everything comes to you. You're not stuck between crossfires. You're not setting up two fronts.
Yeah, the only time we would run away from that door is when the mines would pop up that we'd have to either dismantle or destroy.
Right. So as we got through the 32, we definitely didn't do anything but come out of the door, call out what's coming, pick someone up, put your bubble up. We had a lot of good support from all It was really nice having a useful spot for every character too, every class type.
Yeah.
Bubbles and
respawns. we were running with all three classes. Mm-hmm. Or all three classes.
Do we all three?
We had Devin was running a hunter, and I was running a Titan, and you were on your warlock.
And those three are all our mains. Do we all each have each class? I think we do.
Devin doesn't. Devin's got 2 hunters, and that's all he played with. He's been working on his warlock, but he's been playing. He's got 2 hunters, and I've got all 3, and I know you've got all 3.
Okay. So what I like I said, showing each class very important. Your bubbles, giving us blessing, giving us weapons. Very helpful. Yeah. Myself, I can re-res if we go down and start it back again. And Devin going invisible to get us up, now that is key. Yes. He saved us. The only
time your self-res did not come in help is when we were when one of us ran out and there's just so much around. And you self-res, and you can't get away because there's so much.
Well, they stand right there in your bubble.
Yeah, they stand right there, and you have their attention. And I guess they think they can shoot your dead ghost floating in the air and kill you some more. And they don't tend to walk away. But, I mean, that's the only time self-res. I'm almost wondering if, I don't know, maybe you should switch it up and go Voidwalker and get some orbs that way or something. I don't know. Self-res didn't seem as important as it does like in a Nightfall situation.
I found that out.
I mean, because, if we wipe, we're starting over those 3 waves. We're not having to start at the very beginning, but I don't know. Maybe it's something for us to talk about and strategize about a little bit next week, or, I guess it would be next week because you don't need to run him again on your Warlock.
That's right. Now, what I noticed, I did the Nightfall last week being Omnigul on with Arc Burn. Okay, yes. Same situation. A lot of those where I'm dead. I've got boomers firing at me. That's Arc. I've got Thrall standing around me. They're Arc. And as soon as I res, I'm dead. And I had people kick me. I had people kick me out of a party because I died twice that way. And I was trying to bring our team back. And I got pissed off. It's like, you do not kick me when I have everybody standing around me and I have a second and a half to jump.
That's the downside of some of the LFG groups you find.
Oh, my gosh.
Now, I tell you what, I've got to give, I don't know if he'll hear it, but the guy that me and Devin played with today, dude, he's freaking awesome. My wife has been sick as a dog all day, and she's a baby when she gets sick, so she always, she's wanting something here, wanting something there, and being the good husband I am, I'd run upstairs and take her whatever she wants.
That's right.
And this guy dealt with it, and he stuck there with us. I had to run up CVS, and I was gone for 10 minutes, and they waited in the airlock while we were running through 28 Prison of Elders, and he waited there for us, and the dude was awesome. Picked him up off of Reddit.
I saw that.
One of the coolest players.
I think I saw your text. I was sitting at work doing my work, and I saw it. Have I been kicked yet? Like, what are they doing? So, what was that guy's name?
Oh man, I will have to go back and find it. I'll go back and find it while we're continuing this.
Well, I'm going to say,
I can't remember it off the top of my head.
Whoever you are, sir, you are the Warsat Radio Player of the Week in our eyes, because you stayed with these people who are married and who have things to do.
While I'm AFK'd, yeah.
Because that's exactly what we both go through. I've got dogs that take a crap and pee, and I got to take the dogs out. My wife wants something, and she wants to punch me in the face if I don't come there immediately. And if you can deal with that, you're great. So 32, we had a good time doing that. Now, the strategy really became important once we found our, what's the best way to say this? I guess the best way we play the final boss, which was, who do we have this week? I have it right here in front of me.
Valak Tarug.
Tarug.
I'm probably butchering that name, but
he's one of the turkey bosses, as we call him, the big war fans or whatever, the big mohawks on his back. And a better map, I thought. I like that map because it's long. So we pick 2 points. We hold that off. When everyone comes close, we would fly over to another point, run over, and hold that point off as they're coming towards us. We have room to take out the adds, get some damage on the boss, and we continue to do that. And that kind of just happened out of nowhere. Like, this is working. Let's do it.
Yeah. And now, come today, what we found out is we didn't really worry about his adds. We tried to take him down, and with his shield that kept switching back up, every time his shield regenerated is when they would spawn more adds in. Mm-hmm. And we would take out the ones that would, that we would have to take out, but we wouldn't actively take them out and then focus our fire on him. We were trying to primarily focus on him. And I think that's where a big part of what happened with us yesterday, because today when we ran it, we stayed in that doorway. And every once in a while, there'd be a Centron that would come in and try to run in on us. Mm-hmm. And we'd get shotgunned in the face. But for the most part, that we held it off pretty good right there with less stress than we had last night.
We were stressful the entire time. I was redder than the devil's
back
blank.
and forth. It was insane the way we did it last night. It was extremely fun.
Yes, it was.
But it was very stressful.
Now, what loadout did you use yesterday playing? Now I'm just speaking of Valis here, this particular mission, because I think that's when you really need to be serious about what weapons you use. What did you choose?
I think yesterday I went all three. I had all three damage types. I think I used a Hunger for my rocket launcher. I used I can't remember I might have had my Found Verdict on, which never really did anything. I never really did use it, and then I think I had Word of Crota on to try to. I tried to split all three weapons up to have all three damage types. Today, I think I ended up running around with Word of Crota and then Hunger and Invective. I didn't worry too much about having an arc, something to take down his arc shields. I just would shoot him a little more.
I was surprised to hear you say Invective, because that's something that's kind of swept under the rug. I don't hear a lot of people use it or see it, but I upgraded mine. I put the shard into it and brought it to 365. Haven't pulled it out yet. But I do intend to use
pulled it. That was one of the ones I pulled out to 365. Just from watching the stream, knowing that everything's going to be up in your face. A sniper rifle is not a very big gun in Prison of Elders, except for a few of them that we come across. But for the most part, a shotgun is your friend in that, just because everything is so up close and personal and in your face, and the damage they do, you can't match that damage. And invective regen and ammo, it makes sense. It's like an icebreaker on a sniper where you can use a sniper. It's a icebreaker is always a go-to just because of that.
It definitely was something that I was thinking about using. I switched between that. I don't think no, I didn't use my icebreaker. I put Black Hammer on, and I still use the LDR here and there, but we didn't have many Void. I think that's a Void one I got. Didn't have many Void shields, so I moved that, just looking for some long range. But I kept the Vestian. Is it Vestian? Vestian Dynasty, the new sidearm. I kept that on.
Yeah,
that was doing some good damage.
Yes, it was. That gun is so fun to use. My NES Zapper is what it looks like.
Thank you for saying that. I knew you called it something. It does look like a NES Zapper. We're about to shoot some ducks if y'all don't watch out. We had the NES Zapper, or I had the NES Zapper going. Seemed to be the one I would go to because you could get a little bit of range, doing good damage, and certainly a lot of arc shields to take out. So I stayed with that. I used Oversoul Edict the majority of the time.
I tried using Oversoul, and it just felt weak to me.
I felt weak the entire time.
Yeah, Oversoul felt really weak. I used Fang a little bit, either today or last night. I know you ain't got it yet, but Fatebringer's a way of life. It does so much damage. Even at a 300, it does damage. It does so much damage.
This is the sore I rub every time I say Galahorn to you. I feel your pain.
Yeah. But you haven't actively tried to seek out a Fatebringer like I have a Galahorn.
True, you get a chance to get Galahorn every time there's an exotic pop up. I have to find a group who's going to do oracles, not waste my time, and get straight to the Templar, and I don't really want to do that sometimes.
You have to seek out a Templar checkpoint to try to get that gun, and that's always been your last thing to go to now. And with all this new stuff, it's going to be it's going to have to be something that you hunt for if it's something you want.
And you've readily given me those checkpoints, too. You're always like, I've got a checkpoint for you, and I've got them, but then the week runs out, I never have a chance. But that is right. I've got
something always comes up, and you're never able to run it.
I'm going to have to put regular bounties aside and go hunt for Fatebringer, because if it's that good, I need it in my life. So that's going to have to be added to my loadout. I saw their loadout. It was Fatebringer, probably Swordbreaker, and Galahorn, and that seems like some really good choices.
I think that's what Devin. I think that's what Devin ran most of the night.
You don't have a Fatebringer.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, not a Fatebringer. Sorry, he ran Oversoul, and then I think Swordbreaker. And I don't think his Galahorn hardly ever came off last night.
Yeah, the thing was hot. It was firing so much. So yeah, I ran Galahorn as my heavy, and I just couldn't find a good mix. Now, one thing, I didn't have all my weapons available to me because my vault is full, and I was using the Tower Ghost Chrome extension to move my items, but I kept getting stuck with there's no room, because you need room in your vault to move it over there then to your character. And I got tired of messing with it. And I just I've got some fully leveled up guns, I'll just use these. I probably could have had a better run and had some more damage and a better time, feel like I was killing something, because it was a little weak with Oversoul, but still it was working. Right. So with a new loadout change, I would definitely put in maybe Last Word. No, not Last Word. Excuse me, Word of Crota. No, but that's got Void Burn. I don't know.
Word of Crota did pretty good. I switched to Word during the Hive levels that we came across, just because it does more damage on Hive Majors. And it actually, Word of Crota is still very strong. It's a still very good gun.
That was the thought. But then I was just like, well, this burn. Well, we didn't really have a lot of burns. I'm thinking, I believe I put it in Nightfall into it, but I don't know. I'm still. We mentioned Confluence too. Would that be one to bring?
I ran Confluence a little bit last night.
And it was only level 331?
On the Cabal. Yeah, no, it was level 300.
But I mean, that's fair.
Yeah, just because of the Cabal fire shields, that's auto rifles tickle people. I don't like using auto rifles anymore. So it was the Vision is what was my go-to for a fire primary when I needed one.
And you didn't have that bit of trouble using it, so I think that's something I need to throw up. However you do it, have every type of burn, because you're going to get all types of shields to go through it, and you'll definitely do something with the right fire type, as you should already be playing with anyway. or the right burn type, I should say. Now we went down to the treasure room in level 32 after our wonderfully stressful run on the last boss, and we got to it and we said, "Why can't we open this chest?" We didn't have a key.
Yep.
That's when we put.
We were not. None of us three were lucky enough to get keys during the chest runs in patrol. Today I got lucky and got 2 of them. Completely random, but I've got 2 keys stored up now for times of whenever I want to run, or times I don't have a key or don't get a key during that week to use. But I know there's people out there with 20 keys, and they'll probably have 20 keys for the rest of, for however long they want to keep running.
That's right. I got no keys. I got that 1 free key, and every time I've gotten to the boxes, I'm like, just blues. Nothing special here. I haven't gotten that lucky yet.
Right.
No.
Like I said, I got lucky today, and it come. I think it was two different times I was running bounties and just got one each time.
Last night after we left, I was like, I want to go show off my level 33. Wait, I've got some bounties to do, so I'll do that first. So I went and did these bounties, and I totally forgot the box was going to drop after I did the wanted kills. And I'm sitting there just fiddling with my weapons. Okay, I need to turn this in and level this up, and turn this in, level that up, and maybe I'll break this down. And I'm like, wait, what's that timer? Oh, that's the box. Go, run. And I got these boxes like 1 time, twice. I was upset. No keys. But I've not gotten to the point where I remember every time I kill these things, we're looking for that box. Now, also, stutter. Also, what I did was run into Crota to show off my level 33, who we have both boosted to. I was like, I'll be the only one. These people playing Crota, I haven't gotten the DLC or whatever. They're not playing it. But I got in there, and there's another 33. But what was cool about it is level 33 with me, so 2 33s and 2 31s. We 4-manned Crota easily. I think it was only on hard and 2 swords. And I ended up getting I ended up getting a universal remote, which I didn't have. So I finished the night with a Grimoire card I didn't have and an exotic I didn't have. So that was a pretty fun night.
Yeah, your House of Wolves loved you last night.
It did. I wanted to love you, and you know what I mean when I say that.
Oh, I know. I'll get my drops. Like I said, it gives me a reason to keep playing. I want my Galahorn, but it gives me a reason to keep playing.
We're going to have a special Eclipse Got a Galahorn party on this show when you get it. We're gonna pull it.
I've literally thought about when it drops, getting up and running around my house, like running victory lap around my house.
I understand.
Just see what my wife says and to see her reaction to how stupid I look.
To that, I would say the decibel levels will be high from her, I'm sure.
Yes.
And she won't understand. But that's what they're supposed to do, is not understand.
Yeah.
So we had a good night last night, and I'm definitely ready. I wish I was playing right now. I don't want to say instead of recording this, but like, I've got something to pull me back into the game. Now, for me, with 3 characters and all the stuff I've got to do, it's almost like I've got work to do now. I'm not saying it's not as fun, but it's like, I've got to schedule this into my time. Have you came across that feeling?
I am with my 3rd character just because we have to run the story missions again. And then we have to run the Nightfall again, which I'm not too worried about the Nightfall. But then we have to run level 28 Prison of Elders again. And then we have to run level 32 Prison of Elders again. It just... I like how they make us do it, but I kind of wish... I know why they make us do it, because if you've got 3 different people playing on one Xbox with 3 different characters, you want all 3 people to experience that story. But... I mean, really, how many of us have 3 different people playing on one Xbox? It's normally, at least the people that are going to listen to the show, is one person with 3 characters, 2 to 3 characters, and then having to run everything 3 times or 2 times, whatever, how many ever characters you got. Not to mention, if you've got friends that get a little behind, like Devin will probably run through with us a 3rd time, so he'll have to do it a 3rd time and won't get any drops for it, just because he doesn't have a character high enough. I kind of wish there was a way for us to skip that, but it's getting a little like work, but I think the fun is overriding the work at this point.
It's definitely fun work. I was thinking, like, okay, I've got to schedule this time for these bounties. I've got to schedule time for these raids. Well, if you think about what you got, if you're in the same situation as me. Like for myself, I've got a wife and some dogs and a full-time job, and I'm going to school. Luckily, I've got the summer off. You got to pick and choose. So I might be dropping the bounty chasing, even though these new items I'm getting are going to need to be leveled up. But I'm probably...
The good thing about the new items is they're so quick to level. My arms and chest, my armor pieces I got that, I haven't ascended yet to be up to level, to make them to where I could be a level 34. I haven't ascended them, but the perks come just playing. Like
exactly.
They're so quick to level up. And the guns, the zapper is, my zapper is fully leveled up, and I didn't turn in any bounties except the Queen's Wrath bounties, which, to my understanding of what happened today, and I haven't been on tonight to check, but we didn't get any new bounties, so I don't know if she's going to be a weekly thing, to only give us those wanted bounties every week. But as of right now, I have no bounties with her after I turned in those ones from last night on my main Titan. There was only like one left or something like that. There wasn't very much to do with her, so that kind of reduces that grind a little bit more. You don't have to be on every day running those bounties.
I thought
at least the Queen's Wrath bounty side.
I thought you told me last week that these Queen's Wrath bounties, the wanted bounties, were only going to be ran last week, or only going to be up for a week, and you do them, and that you can't do them anymore.
Well, the Queen's Wrath that come to the tower was only going to be up for a week. She's not there anymore.
True.
But those bounties that we did then added to our Queen's Wrath rep that is in the wreath. Or the wreath.
The wreath.
Sorry.
It's Christmas.
The wreath. It's Christmas, yeah. In the wreath. But like I said, when we ran those bounties last night, those few of them we ran at the very end of the night right before I got off, and then went to turn them in today. There was nothing new to pick up.
Seems like she's just cut and pasted back in the reef. Seems like I like that. I would rather have that be a week.
Sort of. I mean, she's lost her eye now. At least it looks like it, because she had her helmet on last time in the tower, but
right.
She's missing that eye and all that. But
it's that knife she's tossing around.
Yeah, she's tossing around that knife, poked her eye out. I'm thinking she's only going to be she's only going to give off weekly bounties, which is kind of nice compared to Eris Morn, where we had to run 3 bounties every single day, and then the Nightfall bounty, and that got very repetitive.
It did.
And I think they're kind of cutting that out with this one.
That's all I'm saying. I'm glad that's been taken to a point where you've done this week, now you do it next week. You don't have so much to continue. I mean, if you're OCD about it like I am, it's like, I got to go do this, and you're not playing and you can't catch up. I like that. I'm glad. Another thing I'm glad this story didn't have in it was waiting for Xur to take the urn, and you couldn't finish the thing the day you got it. I was happy to have that out of the way.
Yeah, that was... That urn mission for Eris Morn was just long and drawn out.
Very. Keep the thing on a week. Like, oh, wait a minute, I've got to turn this in. Oh, it's Sunday, I missed the guy. I got to wait another week. I know that happened to somebody. So, overall, we had a really enjoyable experience with this, and I haven't worried about not having a raid. I can't wait to get one. That's fun, but
I haven't either.
It's keeping us busy.
I haven't either, especially with trials. I mean, we still got to experience trials sometime this weekend.
We haven't even attempted to touch that yet. We were talking strategy, where I just kind of threw this in our conversation one time last night, as we've developed playing through the story into the Nightfall and then the prison, running the triangle, which I think will be the best thing to do. That way everyone's covered left or right. Any direction you're covered with 2-3 guns. So once we get in there, we're definitely going to have to talk about staying together, not running off. How far are you going to go? If you are going to go somewhere, come back and keep 3 guns pointed the same directions. Watch your back, watch your flanks. And we talked about how, Devin, the disgruntled Destiny player, heard our first podcast, and he's like, "Oh man, y'all, how did he say it? We were talking shit."
Yeah. He said, "I don't suck at PvP."
No.
And I'm like, we didn't say you did. We said we did. The 2 people that are talking said we suck at PvP.
As a group, we haven't played a lot of PvP, and we got destroyed. Right. I think we might have mentioned this the first show. We did
get destroyed when we went in there.
We didn't know the map. We didn't know how to communicate. We didn't know what to look for. And
Yeah, we just tried to do our own thing.
I hope we can develop that, and I'm ready for the trials. Definitely ready for the trials. Looking into that vendor, he's got some really cool things to help you get through. So it's not like a skill based. You get your buff, or maybe you'll get 2 wins, or it forgives a loss. I forgot how those are labeled in his inventory, but that's going to help us.
Yeah.
I hope we all can progress to the same point as we play. If you take off and play one game without me or Devin or whatever, and we all kind of get the same point of finishing it, and I'm stuck back. I haven't won or finished my first row of wins. I forgot how that levels up. I hope we can all stay together and get these things together, just experience it as fire.
Yeah, I won't be jumping into trials with a random group. It's just that's going to be a little too difficult to try to get in there. But I mean, that's me. If we look like we can't get on all weekend together, I might try to find a group, but if not, it'll probably just be something I skip and just wait for next time. It's something I want to do, but it's not something that I feel like I have to do first week and get that experience.
I was just saying that, rambling, trying to get to the point of this game is totally, like we said in the beginning of the first show, it's about the community, it's about the people, and the people you play with that makes the game come together. When we talked about the Vault of Glass last show, when that finally came together and all 6 people did what they're supposed to do and did it well. Oh, what a great feeling. When we did this story and we had the prison taken care of, that was fun. The people make this game fun. So I'm just happy to play with you guys again and have a 3-team group, and it happens to be 3 friends. And if you guys want to...
3 friends that enjoy playing
Yes,
again.
it's brought us back again.
Which it was only 2 of, or one of us that didn't enjoy playing a lot, but he's back in the
How long
fold
do you think
again.
that'll last?
I don't know. It depends. It depends on how random the Prison of Elders is going to be. And if it gets repetitive is when I think he starts to get bored with it. But we still haven't experienced 34, 35 yet. So 35 looks like it's going to be pretty tough.
Gosh. How about the people who finished the level 35 boss in, 40 seconds?
40 seconds. Yeah, that is insane.
40 seconds.
40 seconds.
I remember hearing when people took down, not Crota, Atheon with all Galahorns, but when I got in there and tried that wasn't as fun as playing the regular way you're supposed to. So I understand wanting to get in and out of 35. So I congratulate you guys for doing that. But let's get you one and we can do it too.
Yeah, and there was also a group that ran through 35 as all level 33s. That is impressive.
That's taking your time and dissecting your enemies.
Yeah, they were saying the Scorch Cannon hits were a one-hit kill. That it took them. I think they said it took them like 9 hours, start to finish, to trying to figure out what to do and how to do it.
Wow.
And I think they're the ones that ended up getting that. I guess you could say that world's first.
Wow.
Finish.
That's 9 hours to do that. I would have already bailed, honestly.
Yes, I would have too. I'd have been so sick of it.
You mentioned the Scorch Cannon. We didn't talk about it earlier. How do you like the Scorch Cannon drop?
I like it. I know y'all two don't, or at least I know Devin really doesn't, because he refuses to pick it up. But to me, it's like, I guess it's learning to run the relic and learning to run the sword and how much fun that is. The Scorch Cannon to me, I guess, is our relic or sword of House of Wolves. And when you know how to use it well, it's fun to use. The more you charge it, the more the bigger explosion and yada, 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 all that. But to me, I will grab it every single time, and I will try to hold on to it to take out bigger targets. I don't like wasting it on smaller, little dregs that pop up or nothing. It's pointless to waste it on that. Unless you can take out one big group with one shot.
The times I've picked it up, I didn't see the damage dealt by holding down the trigger to be that worth the time of holding the trigger down, because I could just shoot the guy and get that amount of damage probably down as well. But I was using weapons. I was trying to level up bad juju and whatnot, trying to get the kills of the experience for that. So that might be why I've skipped it. Every time it would drop, I'd let somebody else pick it up because I knew they'd keep it and have a good time with it. So I skipped it, but there was a couple times when it stuck it to someone and they ran towards a group. Now that's cool. I'll let that go and blow all of them up. That's a good thing to do. But most times
Right. I think somebody figured it out on Reddit. They did a damage assessment, I guess you would say. And I think with the second charge, which is the max charge, is like 11,000 damage or something like that. So it does a lot of damage.
I guess those guys are so strong, so much of a health bar, you just can't really see that much, and it doesn't look as much.
Yeah, they are. And I think a big part of it is if you've got a group of people around and somebody takes a shield off and then you blow it, I think that helps a lot. I know some of the ones in the moon, we've shot the dreg off the side of the cliff there with it and knocked him off, and then he's just sitting down at the bottom still shooting at us because he wouldn't die for some reason. But that was pretty funny. But yeah, they really take out the dregs very quickly, and the captains are the ones that tend to take a little more with them. But I like using the Scorch Cannon. I think it's very fun.
It's cool when you do hit it with them. They do drop down and take cover, kind of crouch down like to avoid a grenade. And you can work on them as they're just standing still, and it eliminates one thing firing at you. That's very helpful. I'll probably use it more, but as I started with it was like, okay. And I'm glad someone else gets to use it. And it's just another thing to add to the game. Now, we haven't tried to see if there's a super with it, have we?
There is not. I have hit my super while holding one, and it just activates whatever super class you're on. If you hit Blade Dancer, I think you drop it right away, and then you Blade Dance. I know if you Fist of Havoc with it, you just kind of hide it for a second while you do your animation of doing a fist, and then it just pops right back up in your hands right afterwards. So there is no super with it. I did try that.
So no extra super mega explosion. Okay.
Right. Nothing like the relic or the sword.
I always forget about that sword one too. I did pick up one in our maybe second section of it had to be the 28. No, it was 32. I think I picked it up in the second section of 32, took it through the airlock, went into the next section with it, and I was able to carry it in there, and I still had ammo, so it doesn't despawn from you. So if you do have one laying that you haven't used in one part of the prison, I should clarify that.
Yeah, grab it,
take it to the airlock. You'll keep it.
It's free ammo.
Save your ammo, use those big explosions, and carry on your way. Well, anything else you'd like to add? This has been a pretty good talk about the House of Wolves.
This has been a good talk. No, there's nothing I want to add besides for Skype being a little difficult with us tonight. But
this editing process is going to be great. If you guys hear this show after it's been edited and there's some wonky parts, we've got Skype not wanting to be our friend. Skype's on hard mode tonight.
Yeah.
So, well, guys, thanks.
It's a level 35 hard mode.
Skype's level 35. That's awesome. Well, guys, thanks for listening again. I'm your host, Cobra. This is Eclipse. And we're glad you tuned in again. Anything you'd like to end with?
If you want to get in touch with us, find us on Twitter at
Do
Warsat
that. We've
Radio.
been posting. Not a lot of response yet. Now, we're brand new, and we haven't got there in iTunes, but we've got some posts going on. Join us in the conversation. Find us on Xbox Live. I've got our names on the Twitter page there. That's our screen, our gamer tags. Join us. Let's play some games. We'll get your level up. We'll help you go through the prison. We'll do the trials together. Whatever you want to do, we're down to play.
Yep.
Oops. I absolutely talked over Eclipse as he gave out our Twitter name, which is at Warsat Radio on Twitter. So please head over there and give us a follow if you will. Now, since it's the end of the show, just one more piece of business to take care of, and that is my mode of light. Today's mode of light is a very simple thought. It's just as easy to be nice to someone as it is to be mean. It takes no more time, no more energy to say something nice to somebody as it does to say something mean. As you come across people, you want to respond all kinds of different ways, but think about it. If you be nice to someone, you might can change their day as well as yours. Think about that. Use it. Thanks, guys.